Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Stephanie Liu from Lights Camera Live. And listen, I just had one of the most amazing interviews today with my good friend Rob Balasabas and the amazing Brian Schulman. We talked about the Entrepreneur's Guide to LinkedIn, and it was such an amazing episode that I said, hey, let's go ahead and create a watch party on LinkedIn so that they can go ahead and watch the episode too, because there was so much good, wonderful, valuable information in it, and you deserve to be a part of that experience as well. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to watch the replay here on LinkedIn, and in the background, Rob, Brian, and myself will be tuning in into the comments. So if you have any questions about anything that we talked about on the show, be sure to go ahead and type them in the comments, and we'll be there to go ahead and respond back to you. All right, everyone, so go ahead and get seated, have some fun, and let's go ahead and jump into the episode. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Stephanie Liu, and welcome to another episode of Lights, Camera, Live. And funny story, we're actually live from the San Diego Correctional Facility today because Brian's done some crazy things. And Officer Rob is going to explain exactly what he did. So welcome to the show. We're going to be talking about the Entrepreneur's Guide to LinkedIn. So if you're tired of being the best kept secret in town, this is the episode for you. And with that said, let's go ahead and bring the fellas onto the show. Hello.
Hey, Steph. Hey, everyone.
Oh my goodness. Where is everyone today? I'm still here in beautiful sunny San Diego. Rob, where are you, my friend?
I am in rainy Vancouver.
Oh.
I'll show my screen, but yeah, it's raining like crazy here. I'm
There's always
jealous.
has to be one person that's always raining. But Brian, where are you?
I am in beautiful San Diego, except you wouldn't know it by these walls. And this is my one phone call I'm allowed. So, no, where am I? Actually, I'm literally sitting in the waiting room of Sears, and it looks like I might actually have a charger. I'm sitting in the waiting room of Sears because as I was taking my son to school today, I got a flat tire. You're amazing. Thank you. I got a flat tire. And luckily, a mom was driving by and saw me. She turned around and said, "Would you like me to take your son to school?" I said, "That would be amazing." AAA picked me up, and here I am in the waiting room of Sears because these things don't take, 5 minutes.
No, they don't. They don't.
The beauties of going live, right?
It is the beauty of going live. And it was so funny, you guys, because as I was starting the show, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy breezy because Rob live streams and so does Brian. Then all of a sudden, Brian shows up at the correctional facility. And I was like, okay, we could do this. All right, you guys. So if you're just tuning in, go ahead and say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I see Mike. I see Jack. So welcome. And having said that, let me go ahead and pass the baton to my two guests, the amazing Rob Balasabas and Brian Schulman. Can you do me the favor, the B-Rob crew, can you please introduce one another?
Sure. I'll go first. This is easy. So everyone meet Brian Schulman. He is a LinkedIn, since day one. He's been creating, almost day one, for the last 15 years. He's been creating content on LinkedIn, engaging and building community in LinkedIn. Not only that, he's a Forbes advisor. He's a Forbes contributor, advisor for many boards, entrepreneur himself, speaks on tons of stages, and has really dug into LinkedIn and advises entrepreneurs on how to build on LinkedIn. So that is Brian. Also a cool dad. I don't know. What else, man?
Oh,
A loyal Sears customer, obviously.
Loyal Sears customer. Yeah.
there you go. A loyal Sears customer. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Forbes featured entrepreneur. I'm not an advisor. I don't write for Forbes. I have many friends that do, but I'm honored that. Thank you.
Close enough.
And really, I mean, Rob, besides the fact that he has an incredible head, he's the man, and he's the man at Thinkific. He is everywhere socially. You've got to check him out. He is a stream master flash. You see him broadcasting live everywhere. He's at every conference. Spoke at VidCon. He was amazing. So definitely, if you literally go on social, you'll find him. So I'm super honored to be here with him and for us to team up together and to be here with you, Steph, and to be just chatting with everybody that's joining us.
Oh, it's amazing to have you here. And thank you so much for using your last phone call to call us. and to be a part of the show. It's absolutely amazing. I'm so honored. We are honored to be your lifeline. To not get you out of the correctional facility, but to, talk about LinkedIn, because that's what's important right now.
Thank
Awesome.
you. I appreciate that.
All right, fellas. So when it comes to LinkedIn, you both have had your different successes on LinkedIn. And I'd would love to hear how LinkedIn has helped you in your career. So whoever would like to go first, by all means.
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So, so I've been creating on LinkedIn. I've had an account probably for the last 8-10 years. But really, I've really taken LinkedIn seriously probably for only the last 18 months to 2 years. And in that short of time, creating content on a regular basis, it's opened up tons of doors, for speaking, for JVs, for, invites to podcast interviews and webinars and live streams and all these things, but also partnerships for people that have similar audiences as me in my space. So yeah, it's been a fantastic ride so far, and definitely not looking back, and just continuing to double down on LinkedIn. So it's been amazing. Brian, your turn, man.
Yeah, my story's a little bit different. I have literally been on LinkedIn every day for the last 15 and a half years.
Wow.
LinkedIn there were about 1 million people on the platform when I joined. There are now 640 million people on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn Video launched just about 2 years ago. I was part of the alpha when it launched. And when it popped up on my phone, I said, there's no way in hell I'm getting on video. You must be out of your mind. I had never done anything like that before. I was always on the other end, and my kids were on the other side. But I've been creating on LinkedIn ever since you could. When it was a digital resume and a place to look for a job, I was there. When you were able to start posting, when you were able to start liking, when you were able to start commenting, when DMing, messaging started happening. I've been through all the betas for everything, including articles when you had to be the who's who to publish. I got invited, and I thought it was a fluke because I'm like, I'm not Bill Gates. What would you want to hear from me? I'm just some guy on the platform, right? And I jumped into video after about 5 months of having access, and took the leap. And my very first video was me sharing my life story, which was being a 1.5 pound miracle baby that wasn't supposed to live from the 70s, growing up with a neurological disorder called Tourette syndrome, which are uncontrollable tics and twitches, by the way, and usually you don't know you're doing them. So it was terrifying for me to bring that out to the universe, because I could count on one hand the number of times I ever really had talked about that with anyone. I got really vulnerable. I got really comfortable being uncomfortable. And, I think the other thing that's important is that I came to LinkedIn not to do business. I came to LinkedIn to achieve my why, which was to inspire one person a day. And so I just figured if I could inspire, because of the way I grew up, I got bullied a lot growing up as a kid. I dealt with a lot of adversity. I was always the last kid picked. Again, I was a weird kid, okay? And honestly, it wasn't until after that first video that I didn't look at the word weird as a negative. I looked at it as a positive. It became a superpower, because I was inspiring people by just sharing my story and using my voice and voicing my vibe. And it was incredible. It truly was incredible. All that love, support, and encouragement. It meant the world to me, you guys. I can't even begin to describe in words what it meant. And I wanted to give it out to anyone and everyone that I saw creating. Yeah. Some quick metrics for you, just so you understand. Out of 640 million people on LinkedIn, there's about 250 million that are quote unquote active. And there's about 1% that are creating content. That's incredible.
And that 1% is basically Brian and Rob, right?
No, there's tons of incredible creators, like amazing human beings on this platform. And the beauty about this, guys, is it's not, most people look at LinkedIn and go, I got to show up and talk about business. And the reality is that's not what LinkedIn is anymore. The mold broke. The business attire that you had to be in is gone. People are dancing and singing on LinkedIn. We just did, there were about 70 of us creators that got together with David and Ahmad and did this incredible music video. And it's all credit to Ahmad and David, but They reached out and got a bunch of us creators together. There was an article published on Inc. last night. There's another big publication coming out tonight. But it's literally all about LinkedIn fam. And the cool thing about that is, and you see this word all over LinkedIn, is it's something Sunny Tanan and I came up with. We can't figure out who it was, but it's what it means to us. Yeah. You'll see the hashtag over LinkedIn, and it truly is family. You know, we all are here to help one another. We're in it together. We're better together. We support one another. We encourage one another. We truly do love one another. And that's not something you would expect to hear on a business social networking platform, which is why it's so incredibly unique. So getting on video and being you and just being genuine and sharing your stories. Yeah. A lot of times people will go, well, why would I talk about my life? Who cares about that on LinkedIn? But it's all about being human first, and it's that relatability, because people do business with people they like, know, and trust. So
that's very true. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw up one question that's on the screen right now. It's from Jack Henson, and Jack said, you know, did you guys have a piece of breakthrough content on LinkedIn that kickstarted your success? And if so, what was it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take this. It was what I described. It was my very first video on LinkedIn, because I had been creating content on LinkedIn for years, sharing quotes and that kind of stuff, different types of content. But when I got on video and when I made that first video, it changed everything. It changed everything for me. And I think the thing is the people that you meet, right? The word success is defined differently for everyone, right? I don't think of success as I made this much money. Right. It's I think, who have I impacted? Because my goal is to inspire one person a day. If I can inspire one person a day, I have succeeded in achieving my goal to make the world a better place. Because to me, that's legacy. You know, that means more to me than anything. You know, the boards I'm on, the speaking engagements I do globally, the companies I've co-founded, just, all that stuff. Like, this means, and I don't get me wrong, that matters, but this is what matters, because this comes from the heart, and this is, you can't replace that. But I will say to your question too, again, show up and be human. Okay, business should be 10% of what you talk about. All of these things that I've discussed, the boards, the international speaking gigs, the co-founding companies, Rob and I doing this masterclass together. I mean, all of this, the way we met, the three of us, right? It all happened from this, and from getting together at conferences and just being human and building relationships. That is what LinkedIn is about. So if you do that, if you think, okay, I'm just going to show up and be me, I'm going to just share some stories, I'm going to voice my vibe, and my tribe will show up. If you do that and get out of your head, and I say that because I was in my head for so long, everything starts to change, and the opportunities, they present themselves organically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, true. And I want to add to that. So mine was a really simple video where I just shared I think it was like a 90-second or 2-minute tutorial on how to put closed captions on videos. And super basic, and I just recorded my screen, and it got a ton of engagement versus other channels that I shared that same video on, versus Facebook, versus IGTV, and even Twitter, right? So, and then not just engagement on the post, but then people reaching out through private messages and saying, hey, like, I'd love to learn more, like, how do you do X, Y, and Z regarding videos? And so it just really opened up, like, oh, there's people here that care about these things, and the engagement is really high. So I guess that's if I had to go back to like an aha moment when it's like, oh, okay, there's something here on LinkedIn that's worth investing time into to build, then that was probably it.
Got it. And what would you say would be like the number one mistake that most entrepreneurs make on LinkedIn?
Wow, that's such a broad question.
That is.
Like,
I guess
centric, just in general.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think reaching out and coming out. I mean, this is not news. Like, if you see some of the top creators, they'll always kind of post like these funny screenshots of people reaching out directly with a call to action. Like, hey, I'm a web developer. Like, do you want to get a quote on, your new website? Like, I think that is the mistake. That really
selling
thinking
first.
Yeah, selling first, and really thinking like, oh, I'll just send like 1,000 DMs and maybe one person will become a customer. So, and not treating it like a place to build relationships, then that's a huge mistake. You're shooting yourself in the foot right away.
Yeah, that's not a good way to show up on LinkedIn for sure. I find that a lot of my girlfriends, and this is coming from the female perspective, is that some people are treating LinkedIn as a dating site, and it's like, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do
Back
that.
off.
Yeah, it's true. Well,
Back
it's
off.
true.
I'm gonna get the B Rob crew on you. So no, no, no.
That's right. That's right.
Don't make
mess
me
with
get my
Steph.
brothers on you.
Me
All
and
right.
Brian are like, me and Brian are like, we're not having that problem. No, maybe you are, Brian. No.
There's some really strange things that happen on
There are.
LinkedIn, and it's the last place you would think that those things would happen. But I think, it's a social platform, and like any social platform, strange things happen, even a business social networking platform. But yeah, I agree with Rob. I think that is the biggest mistake. It's just, I think most people, the challenge is they don't understand how to build relationships digitally. They just think they should show up and start selling and just hit the connect button. And I think part of the problem is there's this predisposition by LinkedIn, which is it's the place to look for a job, it's a place to post your resume, and it's a place to connect, right? And I think because people think business social networking platform, oh, that means I need to start selling. I mean, and it happens all the time. It was one of those things that I was working with Fortune executives years ago on, because they were doing some of that too. The way they were connecting, it was painful. And I've been in sales for over 20 years, building and growing companies, and I hated seeing them fall on their own sword, because the challenge is on LinkedIn, like Rob was saying, if you send a connection request, right, and you actually send a personalized message, and that message is selling you off the bat, it's a huge turnoff. Like, I don't know who you are. How is that? That's not how you build relationships. And you shoot yourselves in the foot, right? If Rob wants to reach out to the CEO of Sprint to do business with him or her, he's not going to send a connection request and then immediately start selling. And if he does, I can guarantee you he's never going to hear from that CEO. But I've seen that happen. And it hurts. It's painful. Because the beauty about LinkedIn is you are one click away from having a conversation with anyone, from the founder, the funder, to the chairman, and the janitor, and everyone in between. Everyone is on LinkedIn. Everyone and their mother. My mom is on LinkedIn. Like, everyone's here. So it's a really, really cool thing, the fact that digitally you can have a conversation with anyone and make it happen really quickly if you know what you're doing.
So with having said that, then how do you connect with confidence? What's your way to start building a relationship with someone on LinkedIn?
Human first. Human first. Like, every time every single person I've ever connected with on LinkedIn, and again, I've been here for a really long time, everyone gets a personalized invite. It has nothing to do with business. It has everything to do about being human. And then once we connect, they get a follow-up message of me thanking them. Like, I'm honored to be connected with them, and I'm happy to help wherever I can. And, have a great, it's all about just being personal and being positive and uplifting, which is just who I am.
Yeah.
But in general, that's what I help people understand, right? Is don't ask for anything, be a giver to give. And when you do that, it sets the tone for your relationship, right? It changes everything. It's the first impression, right, guys? Your first impression is everything. When you meet someone for the first time, in person, digitally, whatever it is, right? You make an impression on someone. I get on the phone with people all the time. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe we're meeting in person. I feel like I've known you for years. And that's the power, by the way, of video, right? You show up on video. The only thing missing is you can't smell the person. You can't touch the person. Every other sense is there, right?
Yeah.
This is me coming from the correctional facility. You want to smell what's happening here. But it's true, right? It's true. Like, you can emote. What a powerful way to be able to connect with somebody.
Yeah. And Rob, you're good now.
Okay.
By the way, just real quick, in terms of connecting, there's some really cool things in terms of connecting. Once you've connected, you can do. You can send voice messages. You can send video messages. Like, that's really powerful versus just a text, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool because not many people know about it. And not many people are doing it. The other thing you can do is you can send GIFs. which is really cool.
Wait,
'Cause
what
people
kind
don't
of
know they
gifts?
can
Like,
do
is
that.
it connected to Tenor or to Giphy? I ask
It's
because I upload a lot of GIFs.
Oh
Oh,
no.
you guys
yes,
know
I
this.
know.
I have
So
GIFs.
yeah, we're
If you guys are watching right now and you have the GIF icon, you could go ahead and type in Rob Balasabas as one word and see what pops up. Same thing for Brian Schulman, and you'll see
yeah.
what pops up.
Oh no.
Oh God. Yes,
Deadly.
yes. There's ones we took. I think Steph. I think you created the one from VidCon of the three of us dancing on stage,
Yes,
which is
sir.
like the most popular GIF on LinkedIn right now. I think. Um, anyway, my point is, it allows you to differentiate yourself. It adds another feeling and emotion, right? We want to connect with people. I do have a degree in psychology, and I'm not going to get psychobabble on you, but naturally, as humans, we want to help one another. We want
Mhm.
to relate to one another. We want to connect with people, right? Think about the conversations you have. You're
Mhm.
always like listening to go, oh yeah, oh you're a dad too. Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh Steph, you
Oh,
love to
you're a
dance because
Sears
you're a
member too? I am
oh
too.
yeah.
I am
Oh
too.
my God, you've been in a correctional facility too. That's amazing. Uh, so that's it. It's all about relatability. If you just try and think about that and like just share and that's how we connect with people. Steph,
How are
it's
you making
amazing.
connections in the correction facility right now?
Oh,
Totally.
What's your
it's
strategy?
painful, Stephanie. It's painful.
So,
Just leave it at that. I'm
Rob, what's your connection tips? What do you do?
so yeah, everything that Brian just said, the only thing that I probably would like to add there is just start connecting, not in a DM, like start engaging with their content, right? So if
yes.
they're posting, videos or questions or anything in their actual feed, then engage with them, comment on that. If there's something that's related, like if there's another person, another professional on LinkedIn that's talking about something in their space, then tag them like, hey, Brian, I know that you know live videos really well. Like, can you speak into this, into this post, into this topic? So connect and engage with them sort of on the front end before you go into the DMs, right? So
100%.
yeah.
100%. That's where you meet people, by the way. That's where you build those relationships. I've met so many
Mhm.
people in the comments and have laughed so hard just because of the conversations we've had. I'm like, we have got to have a conversation. Let's connect. Let's hop on Zoom or video chat, which I love to do. Because again, it's a way for you to connect with people. So yes, 100%. Number one, start
Mhm.
there. Like if you have people that you want to meet, go search for them on LinkedIn, follow them, see what content they're creating, engage with them in the comments. Because naturally they're gonna go, wow, who's this Rob guy? He keeps not like in a stalker way. Who's this Rob guy? He keeps showing up. You don't want to wind up in a correctional facility, LinkedIn jail right here, literally.
Yeah, totally.
And then you comment and you engage, and they'll be like, "Who's this Rob guy?" And you go back and check out their channel, their profile, and next thing you know, oh wow, hey, cool. And you'll get an invite from somebody, or you reach out, or you say in the comments, "Hey, we've got to hop on." Like Rob was talking about podcasts. Like I've been on tons of podcasts, and most of them happened in the chats, in engagement, because someone
Mhm.
posts something about a show they're on, and they go, hey, you should have these people on your show, or they ask a question, who should be on my show next? And it's incredible the way that you can meet people and connect. It's like being on the playground, right? Think about that. Like we're kindergarten, the three of us are on the playground. Rob's in the dirt with his shirt off. Steph's on the swings. I'm coming down the slide, and we don't know each other. And all of a sudden, I look at Rob and I'm like, "Hey, you want to go ride those three wheelers?" And Rob's like, "Yeah, let's go do it." And he looks at Steph and goes, "Hey, you want to come too?" And that's what LinkedIn is. It's this big
Yeah.
playground where we all don't know each other, but in kindergarten, there's no judgment. It's like it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what your race is, what color you are. Like we're all in the same playground, which is LinkedIn, and we're all having fun together. And you never know what happens when you get together.
That's good. It's
All
really
for the good.
funny. Well, what I love most about you guys and talking about how you're connecting and you're creating content is that you're using features that were already native to LinkedIn. And I say that because some people are just waiting to get access to LinkedIn Live and then they'll start creating content. But you
Totally.
guys started working out first to figure out what content your audience wants, which one works best for you, as well as frequency. What do you have to say for people that are just like, well, I don't want to get started until I get my LinkedIn Live?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
let
want
me
let me go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
yeah, I want to take that one because I do see that a lot. And maybe to my own thing, because I actually published a LinkedIn article on how to get LinkedIn Live access. And so it's getting a ton of reads. And I think people are thinking I'm part of the LinkedIn team that actually approves this stuff. They're like, I applied 10 times or I applied 5 times, I got denied. And you know what, like for my own, like for my, maybe you guys have a different experience, but from my own experience, the live content, the LinkedIn live content doesn't do as well as say like native video content, which everyone already has. So if you don't have LinkedIn Live, you're not at a disadvantage at all. Like start creating native video content and do it properly, but that's gonna get way more engagement and a longer shelf life than your LinkedIn Live, you know, once you get access. So I just want to put it out there because I think people are waiting and they're not creating content because they're like, oh, I want to do it live, you know, and yeah, just start creating content, you know, and you'll do fine.
That's good to know. Good. And
Yeah,
shout
so
out to
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Mandy, Anna, Eileen, and Nat who are still here. They are loving the correctional facility and and everything
I'm backed
else.
up
You
against the
guys
wall.
give them some love because you know.
Give me some love. It's my only phone call. Let me attack that from my end. So again, being one of the pioneers of LinkedIn Video and one of the pioneers of LinkedIn Live, I'm going to give you guys a tip. Okay, here's the tip. The tip is this. There's only about 50 or 60 of us literally globally that have access to LinkedIn Live. The best thing that you can do, I'm going to share a couple of things you can do. Tip number 1, show up on video. Okay, 1% of people creating videos on LinkedIn. Are you kidding me? There's an enormous organic opportunity to show up. If you have access, just take the leap. I promise you will not regret it. We will all be here to support you. LinkedIn fam, LinkedIn creators, video innovators, we will all be here to support you because that is what we do. When you do your very first video, hashtag my1st video, my first video, and tag LinkedIn. It doesn't matter what you talk about, just take the leap and know that your first video is just about just that. It's taking the leap. It's getting over that fear. It doesn't matter what you talk about. But it's really important to take the leap and do video because that is what LinkedIn looks at. Okay. And Rob, I get the same questions all the time. Oh, I keep getting denied. How do I get access? The reality is when you show up on video, it shows LinkedIn who you are. It shows them the type of content that you create, right? They get a feel for that. LinkedIn Live is going to be a very slow drip. Here's a quick stat for you. There are 50,000 searches a month on Google for the words LinkedIn Live. Everybody wants access to it. The reality is, to Rob's point, engagement is huge when it comes to video. Forget about the fact that it's not instantaneously live. You can engage, you can interact. It is a way for you to show up and let people know who you are, to get to know folks. I will tell you this, you know, I've never made a video and I've made over 425 videos at this point since the end of 2017.
Wow.
I've never made a video unless I've been inspired by something or someone. Otherwise, it's not genuine, authentic in me. I have never made content for anyone else. What I mean by that is I didn't go, what is it people are going to like? And I'll make that. It wasn't about that for me because I was so scared to do it because I didn't know how to do it, literally, technologically, emotionally, psychologically. I was the greenest greenhorn ever, you guys. So everything you see me do, I learned from scratch. I've spent thousands of hours doing what I do, learning how to do what I do. And I fell in love with it in the process. So I think the thing to remember also is that if you feel like it's hard as you're going through it or you don't know what you're doing, look, we all start from ground zero.
Yeah.
We just start at a different time. So you're not alone, A. You've got support, love, and encouragement, B. Just start. Don't worry about figuring it all out. Just hit record and go. Because once you do that, everything else falls into place. The LinkedIn Live stuff, yes, if you get denied, fill the application out again. Don't stop. Just because someone says no,
Just
that
keep
doesn't
going.
mean it's
Just keep
no
doing it.
forever. It doesn't mean it's no right now. But don't wait. Because again, even if it was like 50% of people on LinkedIn Video, that's still a big opportunity. It's only 1%. Come on, like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Okay, so I have another question for you guys, and this comes from Violet Rainwater, and she was saying, so what would your recommendation basically be for the first video? Should it be an introduction of who you are, What have you guys done? What was your first video about?
Yeah, just again, your very first video. It doesn't matter what you talk about. Talk about, I mean, literally anything. You want to talk about you? Great. You want to talk about unicorns? You want to talk about cats? I'm serious. Like, I am serious. Just think about this. You could get on video and go, I am so terrified to do this. My very first video on LinkedIn, I had no idea what I was going to talk about, and I figured I'd tell you that because I'm thinking there's probably a lot of people out there that feel the same way I do that aren't hitting the record button. But I did it. I took the leap. I'm scared talking about it with you right now, but here I am. So this is my first video, and I'm going to keep going.
Rob, what was your first video?
That's relatable.
I think it was like that. It was like basically who I was, what I did, and who I wanted to connect with, right? So if you know somebody that wants to connect, like, so just, yeah, like Brian was just saying, your first video is probably going to be your worst video, It's just like, whether it's LinkedIn, or YouTube, or anything else, like that's going to be your worst video. But if you want to, you can, like Violet said there, like you can make an introduction video and you can turn that into a LinkedIn article that then goes to the top of your description on LinkedIn. So if people want to get to know who you are, or you can always, like, when you connect with someone, then you can also like link them to that article so they can see who you are and kind of all your credentials, all those things. So yeah, just hop on, like Brian was saying, just record and be honest. Like, hey, this is my first video. Don't fake it. But yeah, this is my first video and I'm just trying to figure out LinkedIn. I'm trying to connect with X, Y, and Z in this niche. And I'd love to, just hear what you guys want to hear from me, right? So that's really it.
And so when you guys are posting on LinkedIn, is everything organic? Or are you using a couple of the LinkedIn campaign manager? Are you sponsoring posts, or everything is strictly organic for you?
All organic.
Wow. That's cool.
No, totally organic. Yeah, no ads, no. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying it's the most organic platform. Is it like, and again, just as ROI examples, right? I mean, and by the way, I mean, the ROI is so much more than anything financially associated.
Oh yeah.
The relationships are priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. But by showing up, by showing up on video, I became a Forbes featured entrepreneur.
Wow.
I had a friend of my LinkedIn fam throw me a launch party in Dallas. I've lost count of how many podcasts, published in other, articles, speaking engagements. I had a builder of a company, a guy basically who takes companies that are kind of disheveled and, mixes things up and gets the right people together, reach out to me out of the blue, didn't know him, and said, would you be interested in being the CEO of this company I'm rebuilding? He didn't know me. What he did know was he knew of me showing up. He knew of my history in terms of my profile, my channel, the articles I'd written and such, which, by the way, Rob brought up a really great example. Make a video. You can turn it into an article, right? This is a way to micro content what you've created. But I think Rob really hit it on the nose. Like, it's just show up and be you. If you're fake, people are going to know it. This is it's not YouTube. It's not, no knock to any platform. It's not Facebook. It's not Instagram. It's a business social networking platform. And if you are not who you say you are, it's going to come out eventually. You're going to meet somebody. You're going to show, people are going to be able to tell. If you just remember, just be you.
Yeah.
Just be genuine, authentic in you. Get vulnerable. Get comfortable being comfortable. But again, to the point of my 420-something videos, I can count on one hand, you guys, the number of times I've ever talked about business. The chairman of Forbes called me out and a number of other creators at one point in a post and said, you're one of the creators that makes this platform what it is. I didn't understand that because my videos were about fun, bringing people together. There was no rhyme or reason. It was just, I love people, and that's what it was about.
Wow.
And that speaks volumes, you guys, when you think about, oh my God, what do I talk about? How do I show up? That's what I'm saying is like, just be human. Just be human.
So then I have a question for you. Well, Jack actually has a question for you. So Jack is,
yes.
He's saying, are these strategies just as effective for growing a brand or a company page? Because if you're an entrepreneur, I totally get it in terms of using your individual profile. Does it still make sense for you to even make a company page and still try to leverage this, or no?
Yeah, I'll take it real quick and then let Rob tail it. So company pages, you should have one. If you have a company, you should have one. I believe you will get much more traction and visibility. Here's why. Through your individual channel. Here's why, okay? You see a lot of companies posting videos, for example, through the brand or company channel. I don't associate a human being to that brand or company channel. However, when Rob from Thinkific shows up on video on his channel, I go, oh, it's Rob, yeah, right on, right? Because I know Rob, I see Rob, I connect with Rob, I feel Rob, and
you smell Rob, you know.
yeah.
There's a Rob perfume out there. There's a Rob
like
cologne.
Rob, be the ball, Rob. Yeah, but like I connect with that, right? So there's something to say about that, okay? Which is why I think it's really important to show up. And by the way, I know Rob is with Thinkific. I associate the brand with Thinkific, but Rob shows up under Rob. Well, yeah, Rob can still post those videos under Thinkific as well. So there is power in having LinkedIn pages. It's something we are going to talk about in our masterclass as well. But I do believe it's really important. And here's the other reason why, right? Rob has his own vibe, his own voice, his own smile, his own laugh. And Rob's vibe attracts his tribe. He has his own tribe as well. That company page has a different tribe. So remember that, right? You have a tribe that's going to show up no matter what type of content you're creating. The different types of content, different tribes are going to show up for different vibes that you show up with. So that's my take.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Basically, echo what you just said, Brian, is that, yeah, I manage the Thinkific company page, but we do get way more engagement on our personal pages. So what we typically do is we'll post on the company page, but then we'll ask the team members to post it and share it on their individual personal pages. And yeah, exactly what you just said. People want to connect with other people on LinkedIn. So, you know, as much as we do have a face to the company of Thinkific, we try to be very human. There's nothing that beats, you know, somebody posting on their personal page and engaging with that versus a company page. So yeah, have a company page and share your updates and your blog posts and things like that. But make sure you leverage your personal pages as well and the personal pages of your team members.
I do want to add one other quick thing. And I know the focus of this is really around entrepreneurs, but just as a sidebar, if you're not an entrepreneur, you're working for a company, you've got a role in a company, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, right? Know that there is power in you showing up because no matter what, you are an ambassador on behalf of your brand. When you show up, you're associated to your brand, right? And you have your own personal brand that you're building as well by showing up. It'll just naturally happen on its own. So there is power in showing up, even if you're not an entrepreneur. Okay, because I was on LinkedIn for 14 years, you know, before I decided to go solo as an entrepreneur, forget the other stuff I was involved in, and built my brand unbeknownst to me just because I was showing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Absolutely. We got a good friend that's watching, Mike Alton, who is a perfect example of that, that has his own brand, but also Agorapulse follows him wherever he goes, right? Yes. So there's huge power in a personal brand for sure.
Absolutely.
Good. So one of the reasons why you guys are here is because you guys are launching your LinkedIn Power Up Masterclass. And I would love for you guys to talk about that a little more. So can we dig into that? I'm going to go ahead and show the landing page real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob. I've been talking a lot. I'm going to shut up for a second.
Yeah. So the LinkedIn Power Up Masterclass is going to be starting October 7th to 11th, that whole week. So it'll be live. It'll be taught live first. And we are going to go through all the basics, right? So make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're going to cover basics, content strategy, video strategy that we've been discussing here, community and engagement, which a lot of people don't really realize that that's so powerful inside of LinkedIn. We'll touch on LinkedIn Live as well for anybody that has access, and also we'll go through the steps of applying for it. And then selling on LinkedIn. So we'll talk money, we'll talk business, we'll talk lead generation, and then taking all of those interactions and engagements into actual ROI for your business.
Love it.
Is that good? Anything you want to add there, Brian?
Yeah, you rocked it. I will put a very, very big star or 4 gold stars like you were in school or whatever on the word community. Because if you understand that LinkedIn is all about community, it's all about the people, you're going to do very, very well. So we'll be talking a lot about all that stuff. But yeah, Rob, you hit the nail on the head. This is something, you guys, I am so passionate about. I bleed blue and white. Okay. I mean, when it comes to LinkedIn, I can't say enough how much and how many times LinkedIn has changed my life. It is why I started my company. Okay. I literally cut the cord and started my own company at a multi-six-figure income and said, I have to go do this because, and again, I've been helping people for years and years, Fortune executives and everyone in between, just out of the goodness of my heart, because I hated seeing them do it the wrong way. And I started out and fell on my sword so many times and figured out what worked and what didn't and learned along my journey. And just, I want you all to learn, one, how incredibly powerful this place is that we call home. Two, how it can change your life. Like, I have people in my life, two of them that are on this live with us right now, that I would jump in front of a train tracks for. Like, you are family. Like, and again, that is such a unique thing to say, let alone on any social platform, at LinkedIn itself. Okay, so I want you to walk away with that feeling in your heart, and then I want you to understand the power of how showing up with your heart and helping others and giving to give, that it can change your life in more ways than just financially, but yes, how it can change your life financially, how you can start a business, how you can do so well and be able to leave that job you may want to leave and start your own gig or side hustle or whatever it may be. We want to help you understand how to do that. We will show you how to do that. And yeah, I just, again, for me, it's got such a heartfelt meaning to me because of what it's done for me in my life. So that's why I said to Rob when we were talking about it, I'm like, we have to do this. I'm so incredibly excited to be doing this together. And for everyone that's going to be joining us, it's going to be incredible. So I'm excited.
You do have one question, and it's from Violet Rainwater. Violet, thank you so much for your questions because these are gold. And she wants to ask the both of you, do you recommend having a content strategy for all of these videos prior to starting? So is that a part of your Power Up Masterclass as well?
We are going to talk about strategy, absolutely, because this is not about taking a shotgun approach. Okay, like, there is a way to create a strategy, method to your madness, how to create consistency, how to stay consistent. I'm going to say something, and I truly hate talking about myself, and it's kind of a bold thing to say, but I know it for a fact. I am the most consistent creator on this platform. And the only reason I can say that is because I have created every single day on LinkedIn since you could, no matter where I was in the world.
Wow.
And multiple times a day. And there is a lot of people, the question comes up is like, how do you not get burnt out? Like, how do you keep going? You know, I don't see the views and the likes and the engagement. How do I keep going? It's not about that stuff. And we'll talk about that. And there's a mindset to put in place to kind of keep yourself grounded and humble, which is really important, and how to keep going. Because look, LinkedIn is a long game. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no secret silver bullet. There is no get quick, rich quick, fast, all that stuff. Yes, there are people that have come on LinkedIn and they started and they got massive visibility. Great. I've known a lot of creators that have done that and they've disappeared. They got burnt out, or they had to go and get a job, or life changes, it affected their family life. That's a big one that comes up. I have many creator friends that they had to stop because their home life was really affected by it. Because the reality is you get sucked in. You get sucked into the LinkedIn love, like you really do, because you feel that vibe. But there's a strategy in how do I keep up with the engagement, because that's so important. How do I keep up with creating? How do I create consistency? We're going to talk about all that stuff and help give you a roadmap to do that.
Love it. Rob, is there anything else that you want to add about the masterclass?
Yeah, no, that's it, really. As far as consistency and having a content plan, for sure, we will definitely cover that. But we also will tie that into the community and engagement and different types of videos that you can create. It's not just monologue. Stephanie, you do this really well, is you can interview people that you want to connect with and we'll share how we do that as far as collaborations, right? And so that's content, but that's also community, that's also outreach. There's so many different things. So we'll just put that all together, and we're going to do that all over that week. We're limiting it to 30 students. You know, this is something that me and Brian just has decided to do, just because we want to keep it really small and engaged, and we want to bring value to everyone that's attending. So
this starts October 7th. Is that right? Did I get the date right? October 7th to October 11th. And it's why is it limited only to 30? Tell me why.
Go ahead, Brian.
30.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for a smaller group. You know, think about LinkedIn locals. If anyone's been to a LinkedIn local, like I'm a co-host for one, and Steph, you've been to so many as well, right? And I think, you know, having been to kind of like really big ones and more intimate ones, the whole point of that is being able to have conversations and engage with everyone. That's why we get together, to learn and grow together and build those relationships, right? And we want to build those relationships with you one-on-one. We want to have that engagement together. And I think when there's a lot of people together, especially digitally, it's hard. You're not sitting in front of them, so you can't kind of see how they're reacting and wait and okay, is it my turn to talk yet type thing, you know? And so I think that's the biggest reason. This is like the soft launch. We haven't officially announced it yet, and we've already got a bunch of people that have signed up for the course. So if you are listening, if you are watching today, I implore you, sign up now, because if you don't, I don't want you to miss the boat. There's a possibility we might take this and do another week of it, or we might eventually, depending, we'll see, we might turn this into a long-term thing. But I think we really, really loved the fact that it was going to be a 5-day course, and then it was 1 hour a day, because we want you to get as much information as possible without us jamming it all down your throat at one time, right? So that you can consume that, but also so you could take it and apply it, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not going to sit here and go, you're going to see X times ROI and this much revenue. No. Rob and I are not here to make any guarantees for you, okay? What we are here to do is teach you how to fish. From the 15 plus years of experience I have every single day doing this, from Rob's experience in all that he has done, okay? And the key is this: we can't control what actions you take, because that's the reality. You have to take action. This is work, guys. It's like anything. It's not like you're just going to show up, make a video, and woo, everything's going to, look at all these balloons I got. I'm going to fly up to the moon. No, it doesn't. It's not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen right away. It's not going to happen in weeks, in months. What is going to happen is, by you taking the actions, every one of those actions you take has an impact in a positive way. And as showing up, and when you keep showing up, and when I say showing up, I'm saying you define your own consistency. And we'll talk about that in the masterclass of what that means and how to do that. You are building the bricks. And as you build those bricks, you're able to start walking up those bricks. And as you start walking up those bricks and you look in front of you and behind you, you start reaching down and lifting people up with you. And that is what this community is all about. It's all about helping other people. That's why we're doing this. Is so that we can help you. So hopefully that answers the question.
And just to add, like one of the other reasons is that the format of this masterclass is that we're going to teach, but then we're going to have a really dedicated session to do Q&A after, because there's going to be some things that people have specific questions about. So we want to make sure that that is covered. And so that's why we want to keep the really small group, and so that we can answer everyone's questions and not leave anyone hanging or like feeling like they weren't heard. So so small groups, we're going for it.
I love it. It's kind of like you also have accountability built into the program. So not only are you tuning in live, and yes, you could watch the replays, but you're going to be holding their hands along the whole entire time. And it's kind of like those Tough Mudders, where you're like, we're going to create your content and you're not going to be left behind. I'm going to drag you across that finish line.
Right.
And so if this is one of those things that you're just like, man, Q4, coming up, 2020 is just around the corner, and if I need to go ahead and step up my game, and if I'm tired of being the best kept secret in town, then this is the program for you. So the link is in the comments. Be sure to go ahead and check that out. One last question for you guys, because obviously you are the masters of this. And this question comes from Mandy. And Mandy is wondering, what the heck is a LinkedIn local?
Oh.
Go for it.
Okay,
Go for
so
it, Brian.
LinkedIn Local, it was originally created by Anna McAfee in Australia. Anna, so much love to you while you're out there. And it was all about bringing people, taking it from online to offline, or linked out, which is the hashtag being used a lot these days. And the whole point of it was Anna wanted to get people together that we met digitally and get them into a setting in person. So again, I mentioned I'm a host for LinkedIn Local. I'm one of the founding members of LinkedIn Local San Diego. And there are many that get together. Some are big productions and sponsors, and people get up there and talk about business or whatever. That wasn't its real intention. The intention was just in its root core form. Let's get people together that have been on LinkedIn to actually meet in person, and let's build relationships. So today, there's speakers and great conversations. And yes, there's people that sponsor like food and different types of things and wine and all that stuff. Everyone is different in their own way. It now is actually fallen under LinkedIn itself. So you can go online, you can search for LinkedIn locals in your area. I encourage you, absolutely go check them out. Like, they're absolutely incredible. Again, you meet so many amazing people, you build so many amazing relationships, you make videos together. The most incredible things have happened just from showing up to LinkedIn locals, I will tell you. So definitely check them out. Like I said, you can go online. I forget what the name of the website is now, because it's changed. But if you search for LinkedIn Local on LinkedIn, actually there is information on one of the pages there. So definitely do that, and check it out. Hopefully that answers the question. But yeah, in its simplest form, just all about people coming offline or online from LinkedIn to offline and building those bonds further.
Yep. Shout out to Nat Handler who dropped LinkedInlocal.com in the comments. So thank you,
Oh,
Nat.
awesome.
You're amazing.
Thanks, Nat. And great question, Mandy.
Rob, did you want to add anything about LinkedIn Local from your experience?
Yeah, I've only attended two. There's one that's really trying to start up here in Vancouver. So I think they're doing another one in the fall. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I mean, I'm all about taking these online relationships and then taking them offline. So as you guys know, with all the things that we hang out at conferences, so yeah, so it's all about that. So yeah, if you have the opportunity to have a LinkedIn Local in your city, then definitely jump in. If not, think about organizing one, and starting one.
Yes. Definitely do that. If there aren't in your area, you can. It's not difficult to do. Always great to team up with folks, because it can be challenged just to do it by yourself. But I will add one more tack, just because, again, I mentioned LinkedIn's changing my life in so many ways over the years. LinkedIn Local changed my life too, because when I hosted that very first one, I honestly wasn't in a great place at the time. There was just a lot going on in my life, and I was having a bit of a downer. And Goldie Chan drove up from Los Angeles to help support me as the first LinkedIn Local. A number of other creators, Kurt Mercadante, shout out to you, who's in the Carolinas. Stay safe, by the way, with the hurricanes and everything. Like, he was in the area with his family. There were a number of folks that came out, and we literally streamed live. It had to be on Facebook at that time, and Instagram for hours. We were having the best time. It was the funniest thing in the world. And I felt so good. I felt so lifted up walking away from that night. So again, it's the same thing with LinkedIn. I don't know if you guys feel it, but I feel it all the time. And when I'm having a downer, when I get on LinkedIn, I feel so much love. I feel so much better. I feel so lifted up. So yeah, check them out for sure.
Love it, love it, love it. So shout out to everyone that jumped onto the show. We had Violet, Anna, Kendra. You guys know Kendra from VidCon.
Kendra.
Yes,
Mandy
hey, Kendra,
for asking those awesome, amazing questions. Christy, I think you're actually a new viewer, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And then Mike Galton. And then Anna is asking about Dim Summit.
What is that?
What is Dim Summit?
Dim Sum, you know what Dim Sum is. But
Yes.
Dim Summit is digital internet marketers eating dim sum
I'm so hungry right now.
Yes.
I know.
This is a
They don't
thing.
give us dim sum in the correctional facility.
I keep forgetting about that. My goodness gracious. Here, this is just for
I
you.
can't.
So
I'm trying to break through these walls.
his last meal will have to be Dim Summit. We'll have to make that happen.
Where is Dim Summit, by the way?
When and where?
When and where? It's usually Social Media Marketing World exclusive invites only for awesome, amazing content creators that love to eat. So
incredible.
Just hit me up. George
So
Demanis.
It's at Social Media Marketing World?
It's like, here's Social Media Marketing World, and then across the street is let's all go to Dim Sum, and then we roll out.
I love it.
Yes.
Roll me out of this correctional facility, will you? I want to be there.
Good. So, hey, if you guys have any last minute questions about LinkedIn, now is your time. I'm going to try to find a really, really awesome, amazing outro video of Brian.
Oh my gosh.
So any last minute questions that you have, go ahead and drop them. If not, Rob and Brian, any last minute things about the masterclass? How many seats do you have left?
I think we've got like not 20 or so seats left. So again, we haven't even started really marketing or anything. So just kind of a few posts on social and a few friends that we've emailed, and that's it. So there's still some space for sure.
Got it. Okay. Well, good.
But don't wait. Don't wait.
Don't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know there are thousands, literally, of emails that are about to go out to folks through friends of ours. And again, if you're thinking about it, just take the lead.
Yeah. Anna says that you guys are basically crowdsourcing for bail money to get Brian out.
That's right. Although just
right,
like
Anna.
people write books from prison or make movies or whatever, that might be what happens here. So it's okay.
Got it. Love it. All right, you two, thank you so much. I found the video. It's the Crema recap. So, Rob, you're not in this one, but I have a really, really amazing shot of Brian. So I'll drop this in. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out for the LinkedIn watch party. We'll have to think of a new name for that. So whoever has a new idea, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Brian, I'm sure you're full of ideas. Rob, you have amazing ideas too. And again, thank you so much. Shout out to Brandon Berkmeyer, who hung out with us, especially with all of our nods. Yay! I'll have to catch you guys next time. Everyone, take care. Mary, I would love to go ahead and see like your new... Mandy, I would love to see your new business page, so definitely go ahead and tag us along with that. Thank you, everyone, so much, and take care for now. I'll catch you later. Bye now.